Hello children, let me continue. See, we have discussed till now about the metals. Now, it's a simple definition of metals. So now, non-metals, as I told you, they are the elements, they do not conduct electricity. Okay, because the electrons movement will not be there. Though the electrons will be there, but there is no movement of electrons. Okay, so but in metals, the free movement of electrons will be there. Okay, that in detail we will study. Next, the examples are this one. So, carbon, sulfur, phosphorus, iodine, chlorine, etc. Then, in our periodic table, we find there are 22 non-metals are there. Okay, then non-metals have the capacity to gain electrons. Okay, or to accept electrons. We can also call it as a accept. So, they are called acceptors. Okay, then so though they accept the electrons, they carry the negative charge in them. So they are called electronegative or anions. Okay, let me show you how it gains the electron. Understand children? Yeah. So let me go for this. For example, oxygen. Let's take one oxygen. So oxygen have the capacity to gain 2 electrons. Okay, from where it gains, from where it loses. Okay, so in the next topics we are going to find the formation of ions. Okay, the particular topics we are going to learn. So now this oxygen, which is a non-metal, it have the capacity to lose 2 electrons to form O2 minus. Understood? Next. So iodine. So iodine have the capacity again to lose 2 electrons. It forms O2 minus. Okay? It gains or it takes the 2 electrons and it forms the negative ion. Either the oxygen or the iodine. See, we are finding that here the electrons accepting takes place by non-metals. That's why they carry the negative charge. So they are called anions. Negative charge always considered as anions, or it is a electronegative. Non-metals are electronegative. And if you want to see the valence shell, they have, non-metals have 4, 5, 6, 7 electron in its valence shell. In its valence shell. Understood? So it has the 4, 5, 6, 7 electrons in its valence shell. It carries. Valence shell, as I told you, the outermost shell which having. Okay. So this, for example, let's take oxygen. What is the atomic number of oxygen? Is 8. Okay. So how these electrons arrange? In the first shell, it arranges in 2, 6. So 2 carries K shell. This is called K shell, which having the 2 electrons in them, and the L shell carry the 6. So this is the L shell. Okay. So L shell is the outermost shell for the oxygen. Understood? Yes. So 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. See, it accepts the electrons. Okay. So each those non-metals which have either 4 electrons in its outermost shell, 5 electrons in its outermost shell, or 6 electrons, or some non-metals have 7 electrons in its outermost shell. They are all considered as a non-metals. See children, when compared to metals, non-metals numbers are very less, but non-metals are very much essential for us. Let's take one example, carbon. What is the formula for the carbon? What is the symbol of carbon? Sorry, the symbol of carbon is C. Now, present in all, wherever, whatever we are finding in our nature, in our atmosphere, they are made up of carbon. Okay. So these carbon having an immense use or huge use in our environment. For example, let's take plants. In plants, we find there is a carbon. Within us, human being having a carbon. Okay. Some substances, so they are also made up of the carbons. For example, fuels. Okay, grains, pulses, rubber, polythenes. Okay, then the gases which we use, CNGs, carbon monoxide, carbon dioxide. So they are all made up of carbon. So carbon is a non-metal, see, having a huge use. So that's why after this lesson, completion of this lesson, we have one more very important lesson, that is carbon and its compounds, which is a fourth lesson of your chemistry. Okay, in that lesson we are going to get the detail. But here now we are seeing that though the non-metals numbers are very less, only 22, but they are having an immense use of it. Just one example. Let's one more take sulfur. Okay, sulfur is a non-metal. The symbol is yes. So sulfur where we find it? So sulfur we find in acid rain. It is one of the constituents of acid rain, sulfur. Understood? So like this, not only this carbon and sulfur, even many non-metals are there which are using or which we are using in one or the other thing, or we can find in one or the other things. Understood, children? So I hope you have understood the meaning of metals and the non-metals definitions. Okay, so let me move on to the next important topic, that is the physical properties and the chemical properties of metals and non-metals. So what are metals? Metals are the elements which conduct electricity. They are malleable, they are ductile, they are lustrous, etc., etc. Okay. So they have the capacity to lose electrons, to give electrons. Okay. Then they form the ions. Which ions it have? The positive ions it have. They are called cations, and so the non-metals are electropositive in nature. Okay. Let's come to the non-metals. Non-metals are, again, they are the elements which find in our nature. They are bad conductors of heat and electricity. They are non-malleable, they are non-ductile, they are non-lustrous. Okay. Next, they have the capacity to gain electrons. So though they gain electrons, they carry the negative charge in them. We call it as anions or electronegatives. Okay. In metals, those metals have the 1, 2, 3 valence electrons. Okay. The electrons 1, 2, 3 numbers in its valence shell or outermost shell, they are all the metals. Okay. So the non-metals which have 4, 5, 6, 7 valence electrons in its outermost shell, they are all the non-metals. I hope you have understood in detail, children. Next, if you have any doubts, you please message to the